big part of John Cena's heel act last year was dropped for a reason that was just revealed, so we're going to take a look at that. We're also going to check out what is up with Paige, with LA Knight, and more. Starting things off with some brand new details about John Cena's heel run from 2025 that were just revealed as part of WWE Unreal Season 3. When John Cena turned heel towards the start of his farewell tour, his main catchphrase and the gimmick of his heel persona was based on his desire to ruin professional wrestling. Now, John Cena never really went into detail about what exactly he meant by that during his heel run, but it was something that he would bring up several times throughout that run, that he was going to ruin wrestling and that there wasn't anyone who would stop him. Well, now during Unreal Season 3, John Cena expanded on the meaning of that slogan and what exactly he was cooking up behind it. John Cena wanted to deliver awful, boring matches and win in the most anticlimactic ways in order to achieve this character goal of ruining wrestling. He felt like his heel character wouldn't want to deliver 5-star classics every match, that it would make more sense for his character to just take the easy route in every single match and just keep things bare bones, minimalistic. Just like with his heel entrance as well, John Cena would walk out to the ring when he was a heel with the arena being completely blacked out and then his name being spelled out in a white, simple font on the screen behind him. John Cena changed his entrance to that because it was part of this whole character agenda to ruin wrestling. He wanted to take everything that was fun and exciting about WWE away from everyone. So that's why he removed his entrance, and that's why he removed all of his effort for matches. He wanted to purposely make his matches as awful as possible as part of his act to ruin wrestling. Now, Triple H and WWE allowed John Cena to try this out for a bit, and he ran with this direction for a little bit. That's why the WrestleMania 41 Night 2 main event was a little bit of a mess and anticlimactic, because that's exactly what John Cena was going for. So when he saw all of the negative feedback on that match, he was actually happy about it because the whole purpose was for you to hate that match and find it to be awful. But as shown on Unreal Season 3, it predictably got to the point where Triple H and WWE had to eventually step in and pull the plug on this story direction from John Cena. Triple H told John Cena that the bad matches were, understandably, starting to have a bad effect on the company. It wasn't what was best for business, and it was bringing down the whole operation a bit. Which is kind of the point, right, of what John Cena was trying to do. But anyway, so that's when they decided to stop the entire purposeful bad matches and the whole act of ruining wrestling, because it kind of was. And that's when John Cena started having great matches again, even as a heel, just to lift everything up again. And John Cena, being the actually company-first man that he actually is, happily pivoted and went with the new direction. By the way, it was also revealed that initially, John Cena's babyface turn was supposed to be at Summerslam 2025 itself. Cody was supposed to beat the values and respect back into John Cena during that big SummerSlam main event. But they ultimately decided to turn John Cena babyface a few days before on Smackdown just so that he could enter that match already as a babyface and have that huge babyface reception and entrance. So, just a lot of cool little news and notes about what was happening behind the scenes with John Cena's retirement tour. Now, as far as the latest with John Cena in the current day, he's retired, and we're not going to be seeing him wrestle ever again. But the next time he will be heavily involved on screen is going to be for his John Cena Classic tournament that's supposed to happen sometime before the end of the year. We'll see. Now, the entire story with Jessika Carr and Becky Lynch has been something that's been going on for nearly a year now, and it's still without a payoff. This whole story started last year, where Jessika Carr was, strangely enough, the referee for every single one of Becky Lynch's matches. And for every single one of those Becky matches that were officiated by Jessika Carr, Becky would always come out on the losing side of the match. And after a little while, and after so many losses, Becky became aware that it was always Jessika Carr who was behind her losses and started to refer to her as a corrupt referee. You know, it got to a point where even Jessika Carr became fed up with Becky always complaining and crying. And Jessika even had incidents of shoving Becky in matches and getting all up in Becky's face. You know, and it is kind of funny within the storyline world of WWE, because why would the general manager characters continue to assign Jessika Carr to all of Becky's matches if they know that there's a lot of tension going on there? You would assume that Adam Pearce would easily fix this issue by just simply assigning other referees to Becky's matches, right? But that never happens. Jessika Carr is the referee for every single one of Becky's matches, and, well, there's never really been an explanation for that either. Now, Becky finally broke the big Jessika Carr referee losing streak at WrestleMania 42 when she defeated AJ Lee for the Intercontinental title while Jessika Carr happened to be serving as referee. That was the first time in a long time that Becky won a match that had Jessika Carr as the referee. So, was that the payoff? Becky winning a match that Jessika Carr was the referee in? It's hard to tell, because a month after that, Becky lost the title to Sol Ruca, with Jessika Carr once again serving as the referee and reigniting Becky's frustrations with her. So, that's kind of where things left off at. There hasn't really been a payoff. Things are constantly left wide open-ended there with the issues between Becky and Jessika. You know, a lot of fans originally thought that the payoff was going to be Jessika stepping into the ring to face Becky in an actual match, but that hasn't been the case either. And now there's a mini continuation to this entire situation with Jessika Carr. Jessika Carr was recently the referee for the women's tag team titles match between Paige and Brie versus Fatal Influence. And in that match, Paige and Brie lost the titles under the officiating of Jessika Carr. Paige took to social media after the match to agree with Becky that she was right about everything that she ever said regarding Jessika Carr's officiating, which Becky responded to Paige's post and thanked her for agreeing. So this whole story of Jessika Carr potentially being a biased, corrupt referee, honestly, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Maybe it's not an actual storyline at all, and maybe it's becoming more of a running gag. Because for this story to be close to passing the 1-year mark in length and no payoff being anywhere in sight, doesn't really seem like there is one coming after all. Now, Becky's been missing for a few weeks, though, so we're going to see where everything stands between Jessika Carr and herself once Becky's back on television. We'll see. LA Knight went viral during a moment on WWE Unreal Season 2 where the show highlighted that he made a huge mistake during the 2025 Men's Money in the Bank match, and how a lot of things got shaken up there in that match because of that mistake. That episode of Unreal also featured a moment of Triple H and several other individuals basically scolding LA Knight and having a conversation with him about how he messed up, and that was that. Now, the cameras of the show never really caught up with LA Knight. They never got his comments about what went wrong there, but the moment still really went viral amongst the fans, and it really made them feel like LA Knight really was in the doghouse there and how it was going to be hard for him to get out. Well, LA Knight recently publicly addressed that viral Unreal moment, saying that there's a large chunk of that situation that nobody knows about, and how he never really got to tell his side of the story. LA Knight didn't reveal his side of this during the new interview, but he did make it sound like it is something that he is going to talk about in more detail down the line, so we're going to see about that later. But anyway, what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.